With the Micah Parsons saga behind us, we get to focus on Dallas Cowboys football, even though it maybe doesn't feel quite the same way. We'll still be here for every single Cowboys game. If you are excited to watch your favorite team play, show it by liking today's video. All right, next up, the starting lineup on the quarterback side is obviously Dak Prescott. There's no change there. He's going to start. And hopefully starts every game. Otherwise, could go even worse this year. Running back is going to be Javonte Williams. There will be a rotation. Other guys will play. That's how it always goes. But Javonte Williams is going to be the lead back for the Cowboys, at least to begin the year. Now, I'm curious if anything ends up changing on that front. I'm hopeful to see other players get some run over the course of the year, but the Cowboys didn't play Javonte at all in the preseason because he's going to be the lead back. So Miles Sanders, think he's okay medically. He'll be involved. Jaden Blue will be involved. Switch numbers, much better number now. Lipke will be involved as the fullback. Those four guys should be active on game days, and we'll see if when Phil Maffa makes his return from injured reserve. Tight end, obviously Jake Ferguson. They might use some more two tight end packages. You might get to see some Luke Schoonmaker, Brevin Spanford when healthy. That would not be a surprise to me, but Ferguson is tight end one and should get to benefit from the duo at wide receiver, which of course is led by CeeDee Lamb. We all know how good he is. I don't think we have to spend much time on it. The passing game, if the offensive line can hold up, should be really good this year. George Pickens now in as the wide receiver 2, puts them in a much better spot than they've had since prime Gallup and actually healthy Gallup, probably just Amari Cooper. So that duo has the potential to be really, really good this year. Now, wide receiver 3, I put an or here, and I am cheating. I acknowledge it. It's KaVontae, Turpin or Jalen Tolbert. I suspect you might get more touches from Turpin, but you might get more catches from Jalen Tolbert. Does that differentiation make sense of like getting people involved with runs and stuff? Tolbert was fine last year. He's not a wide receiver 2. As a 3, he works though, but he's not explosive. He's just he can kind of do a little bit of everything, but he's kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none to an extent. KaVontae Turpin cannot do everything because he's too small, but he is explosive. He is a big play generator. He seems to be growing as a pure receiver. I don't think he can ever be a true every down wideout, but he could be your Tavon Austin type. And like the Rams version of Tavon Austin, by the way, under Sean McVay, not the Cowboys version who kind of wasn't totally crazy involved. Can you get him to 3 or 4 touches per game? If you can do that, those could be very valuable. Get him to 5. We'll see what happens on that front. So who has more catches this year? Catches, not touches. Straight up catches. KT for KaVontae Turpin, JT for Jalen Tolbert. Let me know in the comments section of today's show, KT or JT. Let's go to the starting lineup. Left tackle Tyler Guyton is in there. We'll see if he actually is able to play. I think the Cowboys have been pretty pleased, all things considered, with his recovery and his rehab efforts, but it is still going to be a questionable at best status for him to go week 1. Again, we'll know more as practices get going for the Cowboys, Friday, Saturday, etc. The backup, if he cannot go, is Nathan Thomas. Now, Thomas also didn't play a lot in the preseason, which I was a little bit concerned by because I think he needed more reps. But he would be first in line at left tackle if Guyton cannot go. Left guard through right tackle are all pretty straightforward. No surprises here. Tyler Smith locked in as your left guard. Cooper Beebe hoping for a second-year breakout lined up there at center. Tyler Booker in there at right guard. Right tackle is Terence Steele. Hopefully he plays better in this new coaching staff, but those are going to have to be ironed out and figured out, and hopefully they play better up front because this offense could be really good, but if the offensive line doesn't take a step forward, it's going to limit the ceiling that this Cowboys offense can hit. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. College football is underway. The regular season is about to be upon us as well. So don't miss any of the action this year on Prize Picks. It's simple to play. pick more or less on at least 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and up to 2,000 times your money. Keep an eye out for the max discounts. Dak Prescott has a half passing yard. It's a no-brainer. Go do it. Put it in every single one of your Prize Picks lineups. For week 1 of the season, I'm going to pair it with Xavier Worthy more than 3.5 yards on the ground. So I'm thinking reverse jet sweep one time. Boom, that's all you need. Ashton Genty more than a half touchdown as well. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Prize Picks. Run your game. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's go then to the new look defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Overhauled with the Micah Parsons trade, of course. I'll put Dante Fowler as defensive end 1 and Marshawn Kneeland as defensive end 2. Although, make no mistake, this will be a rotation. They will utilize multiple different players. In fact, I would not be surprised if on passing downs, your top 2 defensive ends were actually Dante Fowler and Donovan Ezraku. Third downs, it looks like this. Kneeland can kick inside. Early downs, you probably want and need Kneeland out there from a run-stopping perspective. It's different without Micah. It's not as good without Micah. But you do have a good rotation of bullpen arms you can throw out there. You just don't have your ace starting pitcher anymore. Defensive tackle-wise, DT1 is the nose guard. That's going to be Kenny Clark. Osa Odigihzuwa will be your 3 technique. You do have a better run-stopping defensive tackle in here now. That is Kenny Clark. I don't think you actually need 6 defensive tackles. That seems like there's too many. I don't really know why they made the move to waive Ryan Flanoy and bring it down to 4 defense linemen. I didn't get it. I think the roster management, it's probably not done. Starters-wise, it is. But Osa, Kenny Clark lined up there, DT, and at the defensive tackle spots. I will make note, we're filming this Friday or Thursday night after the Micah Parsons trade, so you might see some more movement on the roster, but the starting lineup at least won't change. Depth charts might a little bit. Speaking of that trade, you've had plenty of time to think about it. Are you happy with the Micah Parsons trade? Y for yes, N for no. Kenneth Murray is next up here, the linebacker. I wonder how much rotation we'll get early on, but he didn't play in the preseason. He's on the roster. Jack Sanborn seems like linebacker too. I think that in terms of Sanborn as linebacker too, I think you'll see Maurice Liufau potentially get some playing time in the 3 linebacker packages. I think he is ahead of Damone Clark right now. But the linebacker room, I feel better about this unit than I did going into training camp in the preseason. I saw enough good stuff from some of the young guys to make me feel a bit better about where they're at, especially, knock on wood, once you get DeMarvion Overshown back. We will have Dallas Cowboys coverage for you all season long, good and bad. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Quarterback 1 is Deron Bland. Duh. Obviously, he's going to be the number 1 guy, can do inside and outside stuff. Kyer Elam seems to be the top guy on the inside at cornerback 2. Trevon Diggs or TBD. Now, we kind of got to the point, I forget which video I said it on, but I'm like, it was my conspiracy theory video on Diggs, of like, hey, are we about to reach the point where the Cowboys are just going to like slow play Diggs and then just say he's back? And kind of quickly with little fanfare because they don't want to admit that they were wrong on his rehab. I kind of think that we're at that point. Like, I think there's a real chance Diggs plays week 1. He looks fine out there doing the stuff he's done so far. I wonder if he does play, if they just kind of make him the 3rd corner. Where base packages, when you have 3 linebackers and only 2 corners out there, it's Bland and Elam. When they go to 3 corner packages, Bland shifts down to the inside at the nickel corner spot, and Diggs is on the outside. That would make some sense to me. Because if it's not Diggs playing, I honestly don't know who the number 3 corner is right now. Because I would have said Zion Charles or Andrew Booth, but, you cut those guys to bring in 2 others, so practice squad promotions, even Keemon Hall could be in that conversation too. It gets a little bit murky all of a sudden. All right, free safety and strong safety, not much conversation here. Malik Hooker is your free safety, and Donovan Wilson is in line to be your strong safety. Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas will remain your backups on that front. Right now, as we sit here filming this August 28th on our live show, which side of the ball is better for the Cowboys? O for the offense, D for the defense. Let me know in the comment section of today's show, which side of the ball do you think is better? Now, the special team side of it here. Kicker, Brandon Aubrey, locked and loaded. Punter, Brian Anger, locked and loaded. And then, of course, Trent Sieg is your long snapper. Really not much conversations here. KaVontae Turpin is the return man. I'm curious who the second guy back there on kicks is. I kind of want to see it be Jaden Blue. I think that'd be fun. He didn't do it really at Texas, but he has the juice to handle it. That's what I would do. But that's also a little bit Madden style, so, TBD on that front. But I think these are your pretty clear-cut returners this year for the Cowboys.